know you're cold, so just jump around a little bit and warm up and feel the energy and the people in the back. I'm looking at you. Thank you. Hey, cool. Awesome. So, my name, ooh, that was loud. All right. My name is Alyssa, and I'm from Climate Justice at BC. Cool. So when you first move into campus, everybody here tells you about the BC bubble. It's the atmosphere here that makes you forget that the rest of the world exists. Your life is filled by schoolwork, clubs, parties, friends, professors. People talk about the BC bubble as a reason to head into the city for the day. But there's another layer in the bubble, one that isn't so warm and fuzzy. It's a layer that hinders us from looking outside and acting on the suffering that we see there. I'm in a group called Climate Justice at BC, and when we look outside the bubble, we see government policies that allow fossil fuel pollution to continue. Our laws unjustly force the costs of greed onto the poorest countries who are always hit first and worst. Even crazier, we are leaving a broken and unstable climate for our children and all future generations. Climate justice is no longer about just being able to swim in your local river or driving a Prius. It's about combating social injustice. To us, it feels like common sense to see these Catholic ideals in the climate justice movement.
Yes.
But apparently not everybody thinks so, because college administrations across the globe are blocking divestment groups from this movement. Yet despite all of this controversy at other schools, divestment groups from other schools cannot believe how far BC has gone to slow us down. Since we are not a registered student organization, we cannot hang flyers, we cannot host events, and we cannot even meet as a group. Right now, I'm technically breaking a rule by even identifying myself as a member of the group. We've tried to gain BC's approval by applying for status as a registered organization a few times over the past few years. Every time, we've been rejected, despite changing our application based on their suggestions. These experiences have taught us a lot about social justice issues on BC's own campus. The rules here cannot be just when we are required to break them to have the basic rights given in the Constitution. My group pursues climate justice, but to do it at BC, we have to fight through a sea of red tape. And the craziest thing about all this is that this Jesuit university should be one of the most supportive schools for social activism. We are taught to take what we learn in the classroom and go forth to set the world aflame. And it sounds inspiring until you realize that you're just not allowed to do it on campus, where you might burn and damage some of BC's pristine grass and landscape. You're supposed to want to change the world, but are only allowed to do it once you graduate from this bubble. The BC bubble tries to make you forget that there is suffering and injustice out there right now, and that shiny layers convince you that your own activism can wait. Finally, after years of waiting, we finally have an opportunity to pop that bubble. This fall, BC administration approved a group of UGBC students to create a proposal to rewrite the student handbook. Their proposal is fantastic, and you should definitely check it out. They advocate for the rights of students even when you aren't in a registered student organization. This proposal attempts to recreate a space that has been lost and sucked out of the bubble. The one where students have the right to speak freely and experience social activism with their peers. This proposal is especially important to my group. If it's approved, climate justice work on campus will finally be about talking to people about the facts and the social injustice of climate change, instead of running around campus trying to find an available classroom to have a meeting in. We'll finally be able to have legitimate activism on campus without fear of police coming because we broke a small rule. Apparently not. We're excited, and I hope you guys are too. There's potential for great change here, and I hope we can work together to build a better BC. In addition, BC has the chance right now to pop another layer of the bubble, the one full of our own contributions to smog and carbon dioxide. Cambridge Associates, the company that BC uses to invest part of its endowment, has created a portfolio that is fossil fuel free. This makes it simple and easy for BC to divest from fossil fuels. That's what we want, by the way. That's like a good thing. The argument that BC would lose talented endowment managers if we divested from fossil fuels no longer makes any sense, if it ever did. Up until now, BC really hasn't been transparent with us about where our endowment is invested, but we're calling on them now to change and make the choice that isn't just easy, but ethically responsible too.
Yes.
I want to create this change because I can envision a better BC, one where they remember that climate justice and social justice more broadly is part of Catholic social teaching. A BC that steps up to be a leader in the global climate justice movement. Most importantly, I envision a BC that I can be proud of. Boston College has the opportunity to go from being a good school to a great one. So to all of you here today, I say be great. Seize the opportunity you have here and make change on campus. Create a system where we build student leaders instead of pushing them down. And look outside the bubble to realize that there's a world out there that needs you. Yes. And raise your voice to the challenge.
When I say climate, you say justice. Climate! Justice! Climate! Justice!